Okay, so exercise week and stuff. We talked about, basically just first and foremost, just stop your tape now and just really work on your C major, A minor, pentatonic, and diatonic overlaps. Just make plain point pentatonic, and then the 7 and 5 on top of each other in your sleeve. Just basically review really quickly. Just get the structure on your tip of your tongue. And then just do the same thing for a G. You don't have to completely memorize it, but it's gonna just go, here I am and here's 4 with this pentatonic on top of it. And, you'll have just done the same shit in C. We just want to do it in one other key. Then I'm not gonna be like, here's your tertiary key. For most people, having done one here and then way the fuck up here, that kind of thinking about a key like F becomes easier to think about in relation to G, and a key like, D becomes easier to, so there we go. That's why 2 keys, not 3 or 600 or all 12 of them. So go ahead and stop and do that. Who cares how long it takes? And also you have a kind of an extra large dosage of stuff this time, so if you end up needing extra time, just postpone your lesson. There's absolutely no point in coming in prematurely on this, but also we're making a point not to add new layers of structure right now and kind of give you a catch-up conceptual week or whatever, so you tell me, we'll figure it out. Yeah, cool, so that's what you're doing first. And then we zeroed in on something that people don't do enough, which is using pentatonic 1 box for major keys, which it's like a major pentatonic for your pinky on A and later, and realizing that that major scale pattern 4 that we've all been using our whole life is adjacent to that in every key. That you got 3 and 4 everywhere with pentatonic box chilling back there. So that's what's on the front page too, not bonuses exercises, but the first one. So that's the second thing we talked about. Was so first pentatonic plain point speaks for itself. Finishing up this thing I was talking about, just focusing on 3 and 4, doing it in a few keys, literally just being D. So think center and just being okay, so here's 3 and 4 in this pentatonic. And the key concept that's all circled and stuff is that you make sure to work against your tendencies. If you tend to go, here I am, here's the blues box, or I could play 3. So here I am, here's number 3, here's the blues box. Just again, overall goal is to just launch into any of this shit. But there we go, there it is. It's a really useful part of the fretboard, whether you're in a major key or a minor key or playing modally or whatever. It just falls under the fingers nicely. Whereas if you get back into 2, it's all this shit. 5 as well. Blues box 1 works pretty well. Cool, man. So about 3 minutes in, talking about the other stuff on that page, which does not exist, except that I kind of suggested that you do this for a couple keys as well, kind of just, that'll be a lot easier. It's just alright, so C major, A major, blues box won't be confusing. Then I just said A, and we think about A minor, but it's not A major, F sharp minor. Cool, and then E major, here's with this in front of it. Cool, so there's that. Do that, get good at it. Just that's not really that time consuming. Just, also I'm really noticing a tendency for you to have your thumb up too high and just launch into playing, and then correct. And all the shit you did before you corrected was almost a complete waste of time.
Right.
So, however much you can make your stuff go, boom, and then start playing, it's going to actually save time. It's really unpleasant. It takes a lot of mental discipline to do that. And it's not that you won't always play. It's not that you'll always be in this thumb position, but it's more like that on bass than it is on other instruments. There's not ever a very good reason to depart from classical position, aside from unbending, literally. But then, whatever, time over time is what it is. Sort of thing. Cool, so there we are, that's stuff on the front page. And so if you're really having a hard time with playing these exercises out of rhythm, what we talked about was making each note 4 or 300, 400% longer in duration. It seems like you want it to go So let's go. There's nothing fucking wrong with this at all.
Right.
Anyway, so there we go. Wrong. This is how long. This is how long. This is how long. This is how long for you. And cool. But the big thing is not guessing. You know, like just if you get stuck, pause. And be like, what am I doing? And ideally, not starting back at the beginning and then hoping you get it right the next time, but actually solving the problem right there, having the little breakthrough on the specific thing that tripped you up. So there it is. That's how long these notes are going to be. This is how long this is gonna go, and how long this is gonna go, and how long this is gonna go, and how long this is gonna 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, whatever. Or just do it like it's a series of hand movements, and whenever you have to think, pause. Ideally, that's what you'd be doing. We don't need to, assign rhythm to that. And then, when I'm doing this, you see me playing in rhythm because I got where I could do that. So ultimately, you're going to be playing in rhythm when you're playing exercises, and that's the point. But right now, the point's getting everything to light up more than dexterity. Moving on to the stuff that is about dexterity, the other side of the page, which looks like we're about 6 minutes into your video, starting to talk about the exercises. So, and this is definitely going for these as well with rhythm. Just don't play in rhythm. Don't ever guess. You're just going over these things for the first time in your entire life. You're not supposed to be able to play in rhythm yet. Cool, so we were the first one we were going to do is a up and down the neck one, the one you're doing right now, and we decided we'd do it in C first, which is 2-string climb. You're just going to get hot shit at these 2 strings. And there was, on the page I've got this second note thing where when I'm playing this first one, I'm just staring at G, knowing that that's where now I'm staring at A, we're just the second note in the sequence, and index going there. There's a harder chord version of this where then you have to start on the second degree of each scale. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do index plus plus index plus plus. Cool. So yeah, just C major, stop your video and get really good at the 4th and 3rd string, which you are already making practice on during the lesson while I was talking. And then you go the 3rd and 2nd string. A lot of people would be inclined to skip, okay, I got these 2 strings, now I'll do the other 2.
Right. We're
going to think about the first grouping, the 4th and 3rd string, and the 3rd and 2nd string way more often than we're going to think about the X string and the first string. Anyway, cool. So there you go. Get C and then another key. And if you really got good at it in C, it'll be easy in the other key, but really don't worry about another key. It's just 3 different groupings of info. Cool. So then 8 minutes in, I'm talking about 3s and 4s. We're still just staying in the key of C with the diatonics, because that's the easiest thing for you to recall personally. You can work in other, if you wanted to just start playing this in G, that would be cool in the gang, starting here, In fact, I'm going to do this in G. So, 3s, or 4s rather, just playing the first 4 notes, and then the next 4 notes, and then the next 4 notes, and that second note thing still holds never. I'll just do C number 1. Here we are. I'm just going 1. I'm making a point to do your rhythm 0, 3, 4, 1. The first time that's how that whole anyway, and there we go. So. Cool. So and this one's more time consuming and more of an ongoing exercise, which is what I wrote on the page. Because you have to learn it for each of the 7 fingerings versus 2-string climb, which is the same in every key. And then 3s, same shit, 3 notes instead of 4. And those are significantly harder, so get very competent at 4s for whatever structure you're currently working on before you try 3s. You could go 4s for everything, then not even get to 3s for 3 weeks. This is implied ongoing work. And I don't want that to distract from your structural stuff. First and foremost, what you're trying to do is be able to, for any major key, picture the 7 and 5 just by going, here's this note, I see this stuff. Cool. And anyway, next time we'll get with modal playing. But yeah, so pentatonic playing point, other thing you're doing, pretty significant. Yes. And most of them have 2 roots, but a couple of them don't. I've already talked about that. That was a waste of 20 seconds. Anyway, there it is.